Hi, I'm John Waterhouse. Welcome to Weekday Wisdom. My question for you today is, are you a good leader so that you can be a good follower? Now, most motivational speakers and people who speak on leadership would tell you that you have to be a good leader. Or to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. That's the general uh, way that people present the idea of leadership and followership. But I'm approaching it from a different perspective today. I want to look at leadership and followership from a different perspective. I'm going to share a story with you that may give you a little insight as to what I'm talking about. It's a story about two horses. Now, there's lots of horses here in the rural countryside around the city where I live. Not too far from here, there's a field where you can often see two horses grazing. From a distance, they look no different than any other horses. But if you stop and get closer, you will notice something quite amazing. If you look into the eyes of one of the two horses, you'll discover that he's blind. Clearly, the owner is aware of this and has chosen not to have him put down, but instead to make a good home for him. And he looks quite content out there in the field with his friend, the other horse. But that's really not the most amazing thing, even though it's quite unusual to see a blind horse in the world. There's something even more amazing about these horses. So if you're nearby and listening, you will hear the sound of a bell as the horses move in the field. Looking around for the source of the sound, it will become obvious at some point that the smaller of the two horses actually has a small bell attached to her halter. It lets her blind companion know where she is so that he can stay close to her as they graze. As you stand and watch these two horses, even from a distance, you'll see how she is always checking on him and how he will listen for her bell and then slowly walk to be near her, clearly trusting that she will not lead him astray. At the end of every day, when it's time for them to return to their stables, she slowly moves in the direction, stopping occasionally and looking back to make sure her friend isn't too far behind so that he can hear her bell. Like the caretakers of these two horses, life does not throw us away just because we have problems or challenges. That's why we have one another in our lives, to help us when we aren't able to care for ourselves. And truly, caregiving can be a leadership role. You're leading someone into a place of safety, a place of support, and a place that makes their lives work better. Sometimes we are the guiding horse, ready and willing and able to help others find their way. Other times, we're like the blind horse, where we receive assistance, following the lead of others who are there to help us and help us guide our way. We may not use a little ringing bell, but we have many other ways that we're able to support one another through the challenges of life. And by lovingly supporting others in their times of need, we can be assured that when it's our time to be in a challenge in our life, that there will be people close by to assist us. When we open our hearts, we are confidently knowing that there will always be people around us who we can trust to provide us with loving support. Or whether you call these people good friends or angels, the balance of life requires that we find a way to support others, and in return, others will support us. You won't always be able to know who these angels or friends are ahead of time, but they will show up, and you can count on them showing up at just the right time and in just the right way. So listen for my bell, and I'll listen for yours, and perhaps we can lead one another into a life that's meaningful and focused, and a life that secures that possibility for all of us. I hope this had some value for you, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching.